Before we begin, a quick question to the audience. Do you think technology is more of a shield or a weapon in today's world? So, today we will uncover the practical realities that challenge the benefits of technology, focusing specifically on the dark secrets of technology. To guide us through this exciting journey, let's welcome Shamanth V from the ISC department of 5th semester to the stage. Please give him a warm welcome.
Imagine you wake up tomorrow morning and find out that there's no internet, no smartphone, no GPS navigation, and no digital communication through satellites or any form of internet and communication. Sounds idyllic, right? What just happened? You may feel the world went back just 100 years. But what exactly happened? No, we didn't go back in time, but we removed one simple thing: war. All the technologies that we use today and we live in our modern life were not born in peace, but they were forged in conflict. A very warm welcome to one and all present here. I am Shamanth from the Department of Information Science and Engineering, and here to unravel the dark secret of technology. To start off, I'd like to ask you a question. What fundamental disagreement leads countries to go to war? Of course, countries don't go to war over petty grudges, right? Just like the way we do. But countries go to war when they are unable to decide who the victor will be. A great example of this is World War I. In this particular war, 5 to 6 powers went to war against each other. It was absolute chaos. And this particular period saw absolute technological development, which peaked in its era. Here you can see the first image depicts an army charging on the horse, and the second is a fighter attacking a squadron. This was the first war in history where this war started on horsebacks but ended on fighter jets. Now let me give you a small timeline. From year 1900 to 1940, 1940 to 1980, and from 1980 to 2020. This 40-year period saw an absolute technological development cycle. In the first period, in the year 1940, the world didn't know what war is. They didn't know what air warfare was because there was no invention of plane. Only after, in December 1903, the Wright brothers flight the first plane, we all got the concept of aerial warfare. 40 years down the line, because a lot of wars happened in this period, the First World War, the interim war, the rise of Nazi Germany. By the year 1940, we had reached the first jet engine fighter jet. This particular fighter jet could fly 300 kilometers per hour faster than the conventional piston engine fighter jets. Next, we had the Cold War between the United States of America and the United Soviet Socialist Republic. This went on until 1991. But the timeline here we are taking is 1940 to 1980. This particular period saw 4 generations of fighter jets being developed, from the first generation till the 4th generation. And in the next period, 1980 to 2020, only 1 generation, from 4th generation to 5th generation. What happened? The main reason was in 1991, USSR collapsed, and USA had no one to compete with to build their next generations of fighters. War funding cut it, and lot of technologies came into our civilian purposes. Let me give you an example. All of you must have traveled in an airplane, right? And if you ever take a plane from Air India Express or Akasa Air, you would land up on a Boeing 737. The Boeing 737 is a commercial airline that was developed from the KC-31 Stratotanker. This particular aircraft was used as a petrol pump in the air, where it used to refuel fighter jets, because the fighter jets have only a range of about 3,000 kilometers. You say, Shaman, 3,000 kilometers, that's great range. But all the fighters fly at an average speed of 1,500 kilometers per hour. So roughly, that leaves them with only 2 hours of essential flight time. To curtail this, we developed the Stratotanker and other aircrafts, and which was repurposed for civilian life after the Cold War. One more technological development which happened in the Cold War period, or just before that, was the invention of the nuclear bomb. Once the Cold War was over, billions of dollars was put in its development, but it had to be used in other civilian purposes so that a good amount of profit can be taken. During the Cold War, the world went from 0 nuclear weapons to 12,000 nuclear weapons. And now we are using them and we are repurposing them for nuclear plants. Today, more than France, 70% of its electricity grid is powered by nuclear energy. And my fellow colleagues here spoke about AI and data centers. But all of them are powered through electricity. And our conventional coal or other sources are not viable for such huge electricity generation. So what are companies investing into? Small nuclear reactors. Russia has built a ship which powers an entire city for 2 days. In one ship, there is a nuclear reactor that can power for 2 days of an entire gigacity. Imagine that. Next, I get you to this simple image. Before the Cold War, it was all about war and metallurgy. But now, it is silicon. All companies are running behind silicon. Why silicon? Silicon forms the basis of semiconductors. All semiconductors are built and forged in less than 3 nanometers size. And don't you think it is in the interest of nations to weaponize it? Yes, they are weaponizing. You must have weaponizing it. You must have heard about China and Taiwan conflict. And why is China not able to invade Taiwan? Because more than 70% of the world's semiconductor supply is controlled by a company called TSMC, Taiwan Semiconductor Corporation Limited. This particular company serves more than 70% of worlds, and if China invades, the world's entire semiconductor utilization gets a dip. Due to COVID, we had a lot of production issues in our cars and other electronics. Imagine if war happens, then what will be the status? Next, other military applications of this particular semiconductor. Before, we used to have armors for our soldiers, which used to be of thick metals. But today, it's being reduced to a thin fabric which has semiconductors presented. All the major nations are building in future infantry soldier programs. India is building the FNSAS. China is building its own infantry system. Russia has built a RACNIC program, and other nations have built other systems. In this particular technology, semiconductors are integrated into soldiers' body, and it checks for vitals if they have taken a hit, if it allows them for better target acquisition and other things. Now, you may say, all this technology only for war and greater this one. So is there anything that we use in today's or in our household? Yes. When I was researching, being an avid researcher, I found out some of these points. Before coming to this, I was watching a small YouTube video and had this same irritating sanitary pad ad of Whisper on my YouTube. In the research, I found out that the invent of the modern sanitary pad is based on the technology developed during World War I. Since World War I started on horses, all the soldiers used to bleed a lot due to cuts and bullets ripping through their hearts. And they invented, the modern scientists invented a particular material that could soak blood fast. But our great women, once they saw their husbands coming home, and they have this material which used to soak the blood of their husbands, and their husbands weren't bleeding, but they were, so they just repurposed it for themselves. One more thing was the invention of frocks. The basic design of frocks was done by Greek technicians or fashionists so that Greek soldiers can easily jump and mount on horses and easily fight wars. But later on, it became a testament of fashion for women. Same thing happened with the high heels. Even if you go and watch any picture of Napoleon on a horse, you will find him having a high heel. And in today's modern fashion, there is pointy high heels. That was designed and invented so that they could control the horse if they're busy with their hands fighting in war. This particular heel was used as control to the saddle of horses. Not only such simple things, even our basic geography and what we know of Earth is through war itself. During World War II, submarine warfare peaked, and on land we have a lot of cover for our equipment, but under sea we don't know what it is. Therefore, large-scale expeditions were sent for undersea floor mapping, so that submarines could hide and then attack at night. During such mappings itself, we found out the fault lines, especially the Atlantic fault line and the Pacific fault line. Then the entire theory that all of Earth's landmass was once together came into the picture. Now, with all this, you may ask this question: does what's darkest illuminate our brightest invention? I agree and disagree because it is a paradoxical question. Because the answer to this is that competition drives technology and innovation. But unfortunately, sadly, war is the ultimate competition. Thus, the food and fodder cycle of war and technology fueling itself is complete. Thank you.